stream right now, we're going to be talking about a tornado that is on the ground in St. Louis as we speak. This is a tornado that is on the ground crossing the Mississippi River in a Granite City area, just passed through North St. Louis. It does look like, as of a couple of minutes ago, it was on the ground. We are going to be covering that as we speak. Let's go ahead and get this thing. All right, so what we're looking at right now is we do have a very concentrated area of rotation that's right here that is just now heading into Granite City. That is going to be our main focus at the moment. On the south side of this, you'll also notice some very vibrant colors. That's going to be wind speeds, potentially in excess of 60 or 70 miles an hour. But this right here is the main area we are watching. Take it over to Breed Tracker, see what's happening, and it is trying to load. Try this. There we go. It is currently on the ground. Tornado is some debris being held aloft. Whether this is from it being on the ground whenever it went through portions of St. Louis here and it's just progressing eastward now, whether or not it's still down, it's lifted, is irrelevant. There's still debris being held aloft, and we're going to treat this as though it is still a tornado on the ground. Right now, it looks to be heading right into Granite City. Kind of track you through all of this as it was happening. So you'll notice here, Richmond Heights is briefly where the first touchdown was detected. It tracked its way through Academy Lewis Place and kind of lifted its way up for Interstate 70 and Express Lane Highway H and just crossed the river, moving into Granite City right now. So this is an active event that is happening at the moment. Still waiting on a new date from the in fact several hours left until 7 p.m. We do have storms all across the area. This first cluster here is in the northern region, and then for folks down in southeast Missouri, we also have a number of storms that are moving towards you. I know we've got a couple of viewers down in Cape Girardeau, that region. We'll be covering your area as these storms approach over the next hour. The situation looks like the storm has just moved into Granite City. We'll see if we have an update as of right now. Yes, it still looks like there is a tornado is on the ground, still moving into Granite City at the moment. It doesn't look like it's picking up a whole lot of debris, which is really good. Hopefully this is a weaker tornado and it's not causing too much damage. However, there is still debris being lifted into the air, which means that there is something on the ground actively picking up stuff. So if you are in the town of Granite City, you are being hit right now, you need to be in shelter. Nabukoki, Pontoon Beach, Coopersville. These are just a number of different areas that need to be getting towards shelter. We're going to track this out for you and give you a little bit of timing if this wants to load. Yeah, so this is currently lifting. If it looks like it's going to be going decently close to Edwardsville, we're going to run that back real quick. Okay, it looks like as of right now, it might try to pass just north of Edwardsville, but we're going to put it out. Actually, what do we got wind speeds going at here? Give me a second. Second. All right, so radar's tracking this at 45 miles an hour. Edwardsville, you're going to have 15 minutes Glen Carbon. If this thing decides to push a little further east, it 5 to 10. So if you're in Edwardsville, I'd even say in Glen Carbon, you all need to head towards shelter. If you're at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, you need to get towards shelter. This is an active is moving towards your area as we speak. This is a dangerous situation. I'm praying that the tornado is on the ground. And you can even see now this is an observed tornado. It has been observed. National Weather Service has this labeled as a particularly dangerous situation. I'm hoping that this tornado that is on the ground is weak and is not causing too much damage. We'll give it a couple of seconds for this to update. Excuse me. And for those of you just tuning in, right now we do have an active tornado that is on the ground, moving, is currently probably just now moving past Granite City into Namioki. Sorry if I'm butchering that pronunciation. Moving into Pontoon Beach as well. Hopefully, this is a weak tornado. The debris that is being lifted aloft, based on radar, does not appear to be too much. So I'm hoping that this is just a weak, and it does look like it might be falling apart and disorganizing. That's a very good thing. You'll notice, compared to the last frame, this what was an area of debris has become much less organized, which hopefully means that that tornado has lifted or is in the process of lifting. And you'll look here, actually, it does look like this storm has more or less fallen apart, which is a very good thing. So maybe what we're getting here now is just hail. Very, very good. If you're in Glen Carbon, Edwardsville, you still need to be wary of the situation. There's still an active tornado threat. It may not be on the ground anymore, but there still needs to be tornado precautions that should be taken in place. So we're going to watch this and see. The storm appears as though it is shifting a little bit east. So Edwardsville, remain on guard, but you might be okay for a little bit. We'll track it as it moves east along Interstate 70, putting it at 45 miles an hour. Glen Carbon, you're going to look about 8 minutes out at this point. So it'll be closer. Troy, you're going to be looking 10 or 11 minutes, 14 minutes for downtown Troy from the looks of it. It's going to be about half until it's in Highlands, so a little bit out there. You've got a little time to get ready. So if you're in any of these areas, you should be moving towards shelter right now. This is an active tornado threat. There was just a tornado on the ground. The storm runs the potential to reproduce if it does get enough energy in the system. Just zooming in and looking a little bit. This pre-storm convection here might be weakening the system, and there's not as much energy it's going to be able to get in, fuel the storm. So if you're wondering about that, don't think we'll have too much of a tornado risk from this cell again, but we still need to treat it as though it could produce another tornado. Yes, and the National Weather Service just updated that radar tag to radar indicated for those of you. So the tornado has most definitely lifted at this point. Yeah. All right. So it does not look like as of right now this storm will be doing anything as far as reproducing. I'm going to shift our focus a little further south for a second. We've got a number of people who are in the Cape Girardeau area: Vance, Chaffee, Cape Girardeau, Scott City, Kelso. There are a number of storms that are moving in your direction that not only carry a large hail potential, but they also carry the potential to produce tornado. Be watching as the storm moves into the area, though. Just veer away from that briefly. 54-mile-an-hour gusts was reported at St. Louis Lambert International, and outside Clayton, we just had a spot on report, large tree down on the pavement. So hopefully that means the tornado was weaker, and all it did was some tree damage, and maybe some light damage. Hopefully nobody was caught outside when this happened. That is the hope as of right now. Okay. Excuse me. I'm going to step away for a second, get a glass of water, and we'll be back to covering this. Just I want to leave y'all. If we got anybody down near Redbud, Illinois, Coulterville, it does look like this storm might try to do something. If it turns a little bit more, it looks like it's turning more eastward. That might try to produce a tornado here in a little bit. It's starting to look like we could get a rear flank downdraft blast here. And if we can do that, we might have enough energy to produce a tornado. So just be wary of that. As for the situation going on in Edwardsville, I would mark this storm up to pretty much dead at this point. But we're going to watch and see just in case it decides to try and refire. For those of you in the Franklin County area, so my general forecasting area, we are in the clear at this point. I'm not expecting any more showers or thunderstorms as the front is currently progressing its way through the area. I'll zoom you all out to a broad view, and I will be back in just a moment. We are back. Voice. We'll go ahead and take a look at our active tornado warning for Edwardsville at the moment. Maybe. Well, computer's trying to freeze on me a little bit. There we go. For the Edwardsville storm, we're going to get an update right now. Yeah, it looks like the storm's pretty much falling apart. We'll just check to verify there is no rotation internally. There still looks like there is some sort of rotation on the inside of the cell. So it's all, if there is anything, it's going to be rain wrapped. But I highly doubt that there is anything uh, that would be produced at this point. Yeah, so it looks like this cell is pretty much done. If you are in Edwardsville, though, just be wary of some very strong wind gusts that'll be progressing through. Kind of get you an estimate on those. So wind gusts potentially up to 60 or 70 miles an hour in some of these harder areas and areas. So that's currently passing past the SIUE campus and is progressing into Edwardsville at this point. So if you're in that area, just be wary of this all. It is currently moving through the area and will be exiting soon, progressing up the I-55 corridor and eventually out into relatively open farmland. So we're going to let that storm kind of do its thing. I don't think we're going to see much else from it. So we are still going to watch with some sort of care. Okay, okay. Just check a couple things. Okay. All right, so let's shift our focus a little bit uh, to some of these further out cells, namely this redbud cell down here. It doesn't look like it has the structure to produce anything at this point, um, but it is still something I'm going to be watching fairly closely, simply because it does have some sort of structure that would be needed for storm production. Bear with me, checking one thing real quick. Okay.